Our first speaker is Stephen Tranchina. Stephen is a senior in the college from Manhasset, New York. He's a psychology major and biology minor and pre-med. In addition to his role on the GAAP Board, Stephen is a captain of the club swim team, a member of Psi Chi, and has served as an orientation advisor for new student orientation. He has also had the incredible opportunity to dance on this very stage by taking part in Rangila, a South Asian-style charity dance show. When he's not telling anyone who will listen why Long Island has the best pizza and bagels, he can be found watching tennis, catching up on his favorite Netflix shows, or with friends at Tombs. Although in denial that graduation is a month away, Stephen is excited to be staying right here on campus next year for his gap year, working in a neurology lab at Georgetown's medical school devoted to studying stroke patients. Please welcome Stephen Tranchina.
Ooh, there are a lot of you out there. April is one of my favorite months of the year, not just because the weather gets warmer or because the cherry blossoms come out, but because it's highlighted by two of my favorite personal Georgetown traditions, Gap Weekend and the club swim team's annual trip to nationals. I think you know enough about Gap Weekend by now, so I'll spare the details on that. And instead, I'll tell you a little bit about nationals and why this trip means so much to me. Nationals takes place at the same pool every year, at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. If you're anything like freshman year me, you're probably a little confused by that. Of all the pools in the country, why Georgia Tech? But what if I told you that Georgia Tech's pool was home to the 1996 Summer Olympics? That's right, the same pool that saw greats like Gary Hall Jr., Jenny Thompson, and Amanda Beard go for gold is now home to the Collegiate Club Swimming National Championship. As soon as you walk in, your eyes are immediately drawn to these giant Olympic rings they have painted on the wall in sight of the 1996 Olympics. The atmosphere is indescribable. And strangely enough, that's not what makes nationals so special. Georgia Tech is over 600 miles from campus, and the team drives every year. Google Maps will tell you that drive takes about 10 hours. That's a blatant lie. After 4 trips to and from Georgia Tech, I can guarantee that even if you're lucky, the drive will take 12 to 13 hours, even if you speed the whole time. That's 12 to 13 hours crammed in the same 12-passenger van with the same 12 people. Sounds pretty terrible, right? Wrong. I love making that drive. I get to spend at least 12 uninterrupted hours with some of my favorite people in the entire world. I get to know my friends and my teammates more than I ever could have imagined. Some people might dread that drive, especially if they have to listen to my off-key singing for 12 straight hours. But some of my favorite Georgetown memories have happened right there in that 12-passenger van while driving through DC, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then finally, Georgia. Now let me backtrack a little bit. One of the main factors that drew me to Georgetown was the passion for the school that the current students and alumni had. It was unmatched by any other student body or group of alumni at any school I had applied to and considered attending. Being a Hoya meant so much to these people because they were part of something bigger than themselves. I didn't understand exactly what being a Hoya meant, but I knew I wanted in on that. And today, I can stand before you and say I finally figured it out. Being a Hoya means being part of a family, a dynamic, diverse, passionate, and welcoming family made up of the greatest friends you'll ever meet that will make your time on the hilltop the best years of your life. I have another short story for you to give you a better idea of just what I mean. One night during my freshman year, my friends and I were sitting in our common room, and somehow we got on the topic of Olive Garden and how I had never been. My grandparents emigrated from Italy, so letting me eat Italian food that was homemade was never a consideration. So obviously Olive Garden was never an option. Maybe it was the whole forbidden fruit thing, maybe it was the idea of unlimited breadsticks. I'm not really sure why, but I was dying to try Olive Garden. So my friends decided we'd all go. Doesn't really seem like a big deal, right? Well, it turns out going to Olive Garden involved a nearly 1-hour Uber ride because apparently there are no Olive Gardens anywhere near campus. It honestly felt like we were driving forever. At one point, I thought the Uber driver was kidnapping all of us. And I'm pretty sure that Uber cost more than our actual dinner. To this day, you ask me or any of my friends that were there, and we're not sure if we were in Maryland or Virginia or some other state. Now, this excursion might not seem like a big deal to any of you, but it is to me. I had found friends who were willing to spend almost 2 hours in an Uber so I could try unlimited salad and breadsticks. You don't do that for just anyone. You do that for people you care about. And apparently, I had not one, not two, not three, but 7 friends who cared about me enough to drive 2 hours for average Italian food. And it doesn't stop there. My time at Georgetown as a Hoya has given me the opportunity to make friends who filled my freshman year dorm room with balloons. I'm not kidding. They literally filled it floor to ceiling with balloons, which was great until the balloons started popping in the middle of the night and waking me up. It gave me the opportunity to make friends who showed up at my apartment completely unannounced the day I took the MCAT with a bottle of champagne to celebrate. It gave me the opportunity to make friends who cried at my last Club Sim home meet because I wouldn't be around next year. It gave me the opportunity to make friends who will go to Tombs with me every single Thursday just so I can get my weekly mozzarella sticks fix. And it gave me the opportunity to make friends who will stay up into the early hours of the morning talking about life or whatever else happens to be on my mind. Whether these are friends from my freshman floor, some of whom I still live with today, the club swim team, the GAAP Board, a friend I made in one of my first classes here at Georgetown, like Natalia, who's sitting right there, or just from my time spent here on the hilltop, they've made these 4 years more than I ever could have imagined. They've celebrated my accomplishments, and they've picked me up during my failures. They've been by my side during the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, and every point in between. They've pushed me to be the best version of myself, and they've taught me just as much as my very accomplished professors have. Honestly, it feels like just yesterday I was sitting right where you are, listening to some Georgetown senior talk about his time on the hilltop, and my own senior year felt so far away. Leaving college will be hard. I've been avoiding saying the word graduation out loud as much as possible. When it finally comes time to walk across that stage and get that very expensive piece of paper, I'll be thinking of the never-ending list of things I'll miss about Georgetown. Among them will be Tombs, the clubs I'm in, the classes I've taken, or at least some of them, not paying bills, sleeping in, and not being judged when dinner consists of cold pizza at 1 a.m. But above all that, what I'll miss most about Georgetown is my friends. I'll miss living with them. I'll miss seeing them every day, whether I plan to or not, and updating them on every little thing that happened to me that day. I'm fully confident these are friends I will keep for life, but I'm dreading having to travel to a different city to see them instead of traveling down the block or even just down the hall. I know choosing where to spend the next 4 years of your life can be stressful, intimidating, or even scary. I know one of your biggest concerns is making friends because when I was in your shoes, that was one of my biggest concerns. And I can guarantee you will make friends wherever you go. But know that if you come to Georgetown, it will be so much more than that. You won't just make friends. You have an entire family waiting for you here on the hilltop. Thank you, congratulations on your acceptance, and Hoya Saxa.